And now let's talk some more on our second leading story this morning. FIFA President Gianni Infantino has proposed to the Confederation of African Football (CAF) that the Africa Cup of Nations be held every 4 years instead of 2, as he outlined his vision to project African football to the top of the world. Infantino speaking at a CAF seminar in Morocco, focusing on development of football competitions and infrastructure on the continent. The next Africa Cup of Nations will be held in Cameroon in 2021, and it will revert back to its original placing of January and February in the calendar.
Eh bien, Jerry, au titre des propositions de Gianni Infantino, le patron de l'instance suprême du football mondial.
Among the proposals put forward by the head of World Football's supreme governing bodies, the creation of a new Pan-African club competition, a Super League with 20 permanent member clubs, and the repositioning of the African Cup of Nations to be played every 4 years instead of 2 years.
Now is Joseph Antoine Bell from the ancient international Camerooners. Joseph, a warm welcome to you. Good morning and a warm welcome. Thank you for joining us on the program. So it's all over the footballing news. What do you think of the proposal of FIFA's president, Gianni Infantino, to organize CAN every 4 years?
Je pense que chacun a le droit de dire ce qu'il veut, et lui, il est président de la FIFA, il peut parler.
Well, I'm happy to be on the program this morning. I think that everyone has the right to say what they want, and he's the president of FIFA, and he can talk about football anywhere in the world. On the other hand, it may appear a little inappropriate for a foreign leader to be able to say publicly to other leaders what they should do with their own competition. When you think about a European Championship, its periodicity has not been set by FIFA. I don't think that among the Asians it was FIFA that proposed it. I don't think that UEFA was offered this competition period, this competition format, or the competition format by FIFA.
Et quand on sait que Gianni a été à l'UEFA pendant longtemps,
so I think all this is a bit unstrategic.
Dites-nous, Monsieur Joseph-Antoine Bell, pour justifier sa proposition, Gianni Infantino affirme qu'une CAN tous les ans...
So to justify his proposal, he was making a comparative analysis of how much is raked in. What do you think?
Je ne sais pas.
I don't know whether it's normal to say that the CAN ends less. We compare what is comparable. So you can't compare the CAN to European football. It is not football played on the same continent. We can compare, and I would like to see a World Cup in Africa and a World Cup elsewhere, because it is the same level of competition. But we need to ask ourselves whether it is in our interest to play it in such and such a place, and whether we are going to make it profitable or not. It is our business as Africans. African Cup will never be played in Europe, so it should not be compared to Europe. And it will never be played in America, so it should not be compared to Copa America, and so on. The African Cup can only be compared to the African Cup. And I'm sorry, you can't compare.
Interesting. There are people who actually think if Mr. Infantino's proposal is adopted, African football will be weakened as a result. How real is this?
Well, I don't think if it would weaken African football or not, but African leaders must still say to themselves that they own their football. So it's up to them to know whether the 4 of them playing it will be something good and for the public, because football isn't just played. It involves players, the fans. And an organization called CAF. And so when we talk about money that it brings, of course, it concerns the teams that participate. But it also concerns CAF itself as an organization, and it concerns the public that watches it. So we have to be able to judge all this before deciding on anything. Now the question that we Africans need to ask ourselves is that if the CAN has not been beneficial to play, has it taken us 57 years to realize it? Well, maybe it is a discovery.